omega-3. Of course, omega-3 salmon oil, one of our excellent products that is very, very popular and well known. So omega-3 salmon oil is well researched and known to be useful in many aspects of our health. I cannot go through all of them, but I will mention a few that probably you will have, if you have been attending training in different places, you'll have had before. So one thing we always say when we are speaking about omega-3 salmon oil is resolving inflammation. And as you might recall from previous times, inflammation is a normal part of our healing process. And that is not what we are trying to prevent or to resolve. What we are trying to resolve is chronic inflammation that interferes with very many aspects of our health. So omega-3 plays a very important role in that. And by so doing, it means that it plays an important role in many problematic aspects of our health that we may find we are struggling with. So it could be anything from pains in our joints. It could be maybe issues to do with our breathing system. Could be that maybe we are asthmatic. It could be something like migraines. So many of these illnesses, chronic illnesses that we come across, are linked to inflammation. And that is why omega-3 salmon oil is very useful in dealing with that inflammation, so that the body is able to get what it needs to normalize itself. Another area where omega-3 salmon oil is excellent is for brain and eyesight development in babies, fetuses, and born babies. And this is because they will be making their brain tissue and their eyes. The brain and the eyes are very similar in terms of the tissue. And so we recommend it very much for expectant moms and also for everybody as part of our taking care of the needs of our brains. Another one will, of course, be very well known, cardiovascular health, the health of our hearts and our blood vessels. So omega-3 salmon oil plays a very important role there as well. So as you can imagine, this means that omega-3 should be one of our foundation supplements. It is found as a standalone, and it comes in two sizes: the mini, which are small capsules that can be swallowed by maybe young children. Then we also have the larger one. And also omega-3 is found in ProVitality. So if you buy the ProVitality, it comes as part of a sachet, but you can also buy it singly. And so I would say that we cannot praise this product enough, especially in these days when the amount of fish we eat is often very little. In order for us to maintain good health, we need to be eating a serving of fish a minimum of 2 times a week. And this should be the kind of fatty fish that will have these oils that are very precious. Then the next question, someone wanted to know about diabetes type 1. And I think it's a good, excuse me, I think it's a good thing when someone brings up type 1 diabetes, because much more often we speak about type 2 diabetes, and we might get the impression that type 1 diabetes is rare or that does not exist, but it is there, and it is important when we come across people who say they are diabetic to differentiate between type 2 and type 1 diabetes. So the question today is about type 1 diabetes. And in this one, my first recommendation is that you need to be under the care of a doctor or a medical practitioner, because one of the reasons you may have type 1 diabetes is that the pancreas, for one reason or another, might not be producing the insulin that you need. This is quite dangerous, and that means that you'll be dependent on the provision of insulin from your health services. The other thing that can lead to this is that there can be an autoimmune component, which is attacking the pancreatic cells and preventing them from producing as much insulin as is required. So in this one, please ensure that you advise your person to be under medical supervision and not simply use a supplement and expect that all will be well. Of course, most doctors will work hand in hand with the patient. If the patient tells them that they would also like to do something in order to help their condition, and in that way they can check how much insulin to give at a time, and in that way you be able to manage the condition. Then, so that means also that in case the type 1 diabetes is linked to autoimmune issues, then you need to support your immune system with the relevant supplements and lifestyle habits, as well as your gut health. So remember, in our gut, we've got some helpers in the form of friendly microbes that love to eat fiber. So you need to make sure that your diet contains fiber, so that you can support your gut health and your immune system as well. So that is type 1 diabetes. Please be in contact with the medical practitioner to ensure that you have insulin when you need it, and also take care of your immune system and your gut. Next was another interesting question. Someone said there are lots of information being given about aging and how to slow it down or to prevent it and so on. And yeah, this is true. But what I would comment on that is a lot of time we focus more on the appearance rather than on the interior of ourselves. Because the thing is that no matter how good we look, if we are unwell, it's going to be detrimental. So our focus in Neolife is usually both. But we do emphasize the fact that the most beautiful thing is a system that works well. And often that a system that works well will contribute to looking well. And that is why we've got both cosmetic products, personal grooming products, but we also have got products that support your health. And maybe I'll share a few points about how to slow down the aging process. Of course, we cannot prevent it altogether, and I think there is no need for us to do that, because the years that we have are also a good thing, because we have learned many things, we have contributed in many ways. So it is not something to be fighting bitterly against our ages. More importantly is that we protect our health, we protect ourselves, and we keep on contributing as far as possible. So first thing is remaining active. As the years go by, it might be a bit more difficult, but it is very important to remain active, because one of the things that tends to happen as we age is we start losing muscle mass. And this not only might make us fragile or feeble, but also the muscles in our body play an important role in our metabolism, because the muscles are ones that use up energy and ensure that we are able to do the things we need to do. So try to find an activity that you enjoy, because if we are doing an activity that we like, we are more likely to maintain it. Then, so apart from being active, the next is safeguard rest and sleep. We recommend 7 to 8 hours of good quality sleep every night, because more and more research is showing how crucial good sleep is for many aspects of our life, including to slow down aging. And I'm sure you have noticed, if you have been sleep deprived for a while, you start being subpar, your appearance suffers, your productivity suffers. You may find you have got issues to do with bad mood or short temper and so on. So safeguard rest and sleep. And as we grow older, it is even more important to make sure that we pace ourselves. We may be able to do a lot, but we cannot run as fast as we used to when we were younger. Therefore, what we need to do is find a good pace where we are able to keep up with things. But when we need to rest, we also take time to rest. Learning new things and nurturing good relationships are very important for our mental health. So let us keep our relationships well nurtured, so that we have enriching people around us. We should also try to learn new things. For example, we may learn new games, we may learn new skills. All these are good because it challenges our brains and ensures that our brain keeps on rising up to the challenge. Eliminate unhealthy habits. When we were younger, maybe we could sustain some of this, But the older we get, the more the system struggles. So let us keep a minimum to unhealthy habits. For example, foods that are problematic, for example, substances that may be harmful to our systems, all this we should try to get rid of. Then I also had a list, an interesting list of some of the affordable superfoods. These days we often hear about superfoods. And I think a lot of times there are all these fancy exotic foods that we think, oh, how can I afford to eat this regularly? But what we might forget is that there are many affordable foods that we can actually make a part of our diet and will help us very much. And the reason I thought I would add this is because protein becomes very important as we grow older. Of course, protein is very important for younger people as they are growing. But as we are getting older, it's also important to ensure that we maintain good health and strength. So a food like eggs is actually, in most cases, in most parts of our continent, we can still get fairly healthy eggs. And you can try to support local farmers and maybe educate them on how to raise healthier chickens and therefore eggs. So eggs are cheap, they are storable, and they have got an excellent nutritional saying. So just to pick up where I was before, I was saying that we have got some superfoods that maybe sometimes we don't think about that are very excellent for us. Another very excellent food are small fish. Many of our countries will have small fishes such as sardines, mackerels. I don't know what you would call it in your culture, but I'm talking about the types of small fish that the bones are edible, the whole fish is edible. That is very excellent. They give you lots of calcium, they give you protein, and they give you many other important nutrients. Then something like avocado, which grows in many parts of our continent, is also another superfood, often an unsung hero. So this is something that we definitely should add. If you have got sugar issues, avocado is the best fruit for you because it contains fiber, but it contains no sugar. Instead, it has got healthy fats. So it's excellent whether or not you have sugar issues, but if you do, this could be your best fruit choice. Then we've got organ meats, things like liver, kidney, offal. These are often quite affordable and they are very good for our health. They contain lots of proteins, good quality proteins, and so on. Then leafy vegetables of different kinds. Many of them are very good for us. Things like cabbage and kale and so on. And then not to forget our traditional fermented foods that ensure that we've got a good variety of gut microbes. So you look in your culture and see what your culture tends to ferment and make it part of your diet. So those are some of the points I wanted to make, but of course, not to forget that Neolife will supplement the efforts you are making against the aging process. You need to have a baseline of supplements just to safeguard everything, to make sure you are getting everything that you need. We supplement with ProVitality. Because of the issues we have with food nowadays, we often recommend that you have also botanical balance. You will remember, if you have been in the training over the past few weeks, we've been talking about metabolic health. And as we grow older, our metabolism might be becoming less efficient. Our mitochondria might be lagging a bit. Botanical balance is an excellent supplement to add for that reason. You can also add magnesium complex that helps with quality of sleep and quality of rest and many, many processes in our system. And then, of course, we have got the nutrients, organic the system of cosmetic care that will take care of our facial skin, plus our personal care products that ensure that we keep on with good personal grooming. So these are some of the products that we can use in our fight against aging, both lifestyle points as well as Neolife supplements that supplement the efforts that we make. Next question, someone wanted to know what to recommend for aching joints. The first recommendation I have is investigate the underlying cause. It could be arthritis, it could be an injury. So it would be a good thing maybe to get your medical practitioner to check if you need an X-ray, or it's something that has developed over time. Of course, as I was saying in the previous point, as we grow older, we may find that we have got aches here and there because of inflammation and so on. So apart from seeing your doctor, you can also change if you have been doing high impact exercises. Maybe you are sprinter, runner, or these types of exercises, like some high impact aerobics. You may need to rethink your exercise program and rather opt for minimal impact exercises such as swimming, such as walking, maybe jogging, but walking probably is kinder to your joint. You may opt to walk on grass rather than on asphalt because it tends to be very hard and can be quite problematic if you have joint issues. A physiotherapy might also be able to advise and help. And the supplement we recommend for joint health, in this case, we recommend omega-3 salmon oil to help with the inflammation that probably is involved in the joint pain and also in the healing process of the joint. Then we also recommend CalMag and vitamin A plus D. This because you will remember that vitamin D helps us to absorb calcium better. So those are the three we would recommend. And once you have investigated the possible underlying cause, then we can give more recommendations. Another question was what to recommend for Parkinson's disease, one of the dementias. So this illness, unfortunately, has got a poor prognosis. So the most we can hope for with our supplements is to slow down the progression of illness. So one of the things just to mention is an aspect of Parkinson's disease is the body becomes not really able to get rid of toxins, to detox. So one way to help is to make sure you minimize your toxin load, avoid environmental toxins such as foods that have been sprayed with herbicides, certain kinds of dry cleaning fluid. Even sometimes we don't think about things like dry cleaning and how they could be adding to our toxin load. So look at your lifestyle and see how you can reduce your toxin load. You can also do one of our detoxes every so often to help with this. And then the supplements we recommend for Parkinson's disease would be coenzyme Q10. We recommend omega-3 salmon oil, and we also recommend beta-GAD. So remember, the aim is to slow down the progression of the illness, but unfortunately, this is one of those illnesses which, by the time we start seeing the symptoms, the illness has made inroads in our mental abilities. Next question was chronic kidney disease. Someone with chronic kidney disease and is on dialysis, which means that the kidney disease has really made inroads into their organs. So here what we recommend, again, minimize toxin load, because remember, the kidneys are very important in detoxifying. And so if you have chronic kidney disease, your kidneys will already be struggling. So try to, again, look at the things you take in and keep the toxin load low. Get plenty of sun exposure. Vitamin D plays an important role in many aspects of our body, including our kidney health. And also stay well hydrated to assist the kidney in its function. Then the supplements we recommend, a vitamin B complex is important, more especially because the absorption of vitamin B in people with chronic kidney disease tends to diminish. So there may be a deficiency of vitamin B, which again is another vitamin that is extremely important in energy production, blood production, and so on, mood maintenance. And then we also recommend, apart from B complex, we recommend beta-GAD. Beta-GAD also contains some vitamin B, but because of the issue of deficiency, we want to have B complex there as well. And then, of course, as I said, in case you cannot get as much sun exposure as is necessary, then you need to supplement with vitamin A plus D or with vegan D. If the chronic kidney illness is already affecting the functioning of the heart, which tends to happen, then we need to add coenzyme Q10 to support heart function. And the other thing that is linked to chronic kidney disease is type 2 diabetes. And so if there is also sugar issues in this person, then we would also need to add botanical balance. So of course there can be other causes of chronic kidney disease. It's just that in recent times we have found that often the root of the kidney disease is type 2 diabetes. Okay, next was what to recommend for someone who has had chemo, is having chemo after having surgery. And here we recommend phytodefense, and we also recommend Neolife Shake, more especially if the person is struggling with their appetite and needs to rebuild themselves after chemo. Okay, then another one was what to recommend for someone who's had open heart surgery. So this is serious surgery. First, the recommendation is follow the doctor's instructions. The second is chelated zinc, coenzyme Q10, and Provitality. So to help in recovery, chelated zinc is very important for recovery of internal wounds and other wounds. Coenzyme Q10, very important in supporting the functioning of the heart. And of course, Provitality will be our baseline supplement to help the person in recovery and getting back on their feet. Next was a number of questions about nerves, so nerve issues, some with the numbness and tingling, others with nerve injury. They did not say whether the injury was as a result of maybe back problems or because of other injuries, or as another byproduct of type 2 diabetes, which can also cause nerve issues. So in all that, the lifestyle recommendation will be opt for healthy fats, but minimize refined carbohydrates and junk food from your diet. Avoid harmful habits and opt for a healthy lifestyle to resolve inflammation. Because when your body is inflamed, of course, the nerves are going to be also reacting and sensing pain as a result of it. So try to avoid the things that worsen inflammation, things like unhealthy foods, and so on. Then the supplements we recommend for nerve issues will be vitamin B complex. We recommend magnesium complex and Provitality. If you're not able to buy the entire Provitality, you absolutely need to get omega-3 salmon oil at least to help with that. We can also recommend for nerve issues vitamin E, depending on whether maybe the nerves are as a result of other issues. So if the nerve issues are linked to type 2 diabetes, then do add botanical balance in order to deal with the diabetes, because that will be the root of the problem. And remember, in supplementation, we always want to go to the root of a problem so we can assist the body in solving the root. And that way, as time goes by, the problem itself will resolve. Then if the nerve issue is as a result of injury, then do try to see a physiotherapist to recommend for you exercises and stretches that you can do to support your recovery. If it is nerves that are in the back, because sometimes we get back problems, slip discs and so on, that end up with a pinched nerve, it would be a good thing to see a chiropractor to align the backbone to eliminate the pinching on the nerves that is being caused by the misalignment in the backbone. Okay, next was a question about recurrent sore throat. And here it could be a sign of an allergy that a person may have, or a recurrent infection which is not getting treated and healed properly. So if it is a recurrent infection, you definitely need to discuss with your doctor to get the appropriate antibiotics to get rid of the infection. If it's an allergy, on the other hand, try to identify and avoid the triggers. And then the supplements that will assist will be omega-3 salmon oil, once again, flavonoid complex to help with the healing process, as well as chelated zinc, and vitamin A plus D is also useful, and more especially if you do not get adequate sun exposure. You can also add herbal respiratory complex, and to help to soothe the sore throat. Chewable oil C can also help as you suck it. It will help with the healing process there. Then the next question was what to recommend for kidney stones. So these are crystallized stones that can form in the kidneys, and sometimes it is associated with certain foods. So in the lifestyle points, avoid eating raw spinach or drinking the juice of raw spinach, because in some people, not in everybody, it may contribute to kidney stones. However, if you cook your spinach, you can eat it, especially if you cook it with milk or cream, because the calcium in the dairy is going to prevent the formation of the kidney stones. Or you can opt for other vegetables. So then I know that there has, in former times, there was a lot of emphasis about eating vegetables raw, but I just need to say this is not good for everybody. There are people whose digestion doesn't do well with raw vegetables, which means that it would be a better thing if you find that raw vegetables such as spinach and kale and so on are causing bloating and kidney stones and so on. Rather cook them, and in the case of spinach, either cook them with milk or cream, or take Calmag, so that the calcium can balance out the salts that lead to kidney stones. In addition to that, to help with kidney stones, we recommend flavonoid complex, we recommend multimineral alfalfa, and we recommend omega-3 salmon oil. Next was recurrent tonsillitis. So tonsils are little organs that are found under our jawline, and they participate in our immune system, especially the health of our breathing system. And if you're having inflamed tonsils, then one of the things would be to consult a doctor. But I see that the question was about recurrent tonsillitis, which means probably they have been to the doctor, they've been on antibiotics, but the infection either does not heal or they are getting reinfected. So when you have a recurrent situation, it could be that the infection has not really healed. Maybe it went down and flared up again, or it could be that there's something that keeps on infecting. So here are some lifestyle points. Make a habit of gargling warm salt water just to help with the oral hygiene. You also recommend, of course, good oral hygiene, brushing your teeth well twice a day before you go to bed and also in the morning. And also support your immune system so it is able to be resilient under these types of infection. For adults with recurrent tonsillitis, we recommend vitamin C, sustained release. We recommend herbal respiratory complex and garlic allium. Then for children, we recommend VitaGuard and All C. Next was a question from various people, and this is a frequent question, and it's about fibroids. So there was no specification, but I would assume it is uterine fibroids. Lifestyle points for fibroids is eliminate environmental toxins such as pesticides, residues that might remain in your foods, food additives, toxic home care and grooming products. All these will contain substances that are called endocrine disruptors, the hormone disruptors. These substances, toxic substances, tend to disrupt the functioning of our hormone system. Another thing you can do is avoid storing and microwaving food in plastic containers. Opt for glass or ceramic or earthenware. Opt for minimally processed, nutritious food. Avoid and eliminate sugar and junk and such like. And opt also for fiber-rich carbohydrates that are not overly processed. The fibroids are not usually cancerous, but what can happen is that they may reduce fertility and can also contribute to miscarriage depending on where they are located in the uterus. Try to find meat and dairy from animals that are not treated with hormones. So our local food, maybe from local farmers, small-scale farmers, you can see if you can get that, or get wild-caught fish rather than farmed fish. In some cases, unfortunately, farmed fish can have additives that are not so good for our health. Look at your water as well. Get good quality, pure water. And in this case, also, often the water is in plastic bottles. Try as much as you can to opt for metal or glass bottles or other types of containers that will not leach plastic into your system, because one of the links to fibroids is plastics, the substances that leak out of plastic containers. The supplements that are going to assist with this will be Cruciferous Plus, that helps with the body to get rid of unwanted growths, Herbal Feminine Complex to balance the hormones, and Beta-Guard to help with detoxing, and Multimineral Alfalfa will help if the fibroids are causing heavy menstrual bleeding. Okay, I think that that will be the end for today. I know that maybe we didn't get to all the questions, but of course, we'll probably have another Q&A next week. But for now, let me thank you very much for having joined us. I'm sorry that we had that break in the middle, but we keep on carrying on. I want to wish you the best as we are drawing to month end. I know it's usually a very taxing time for us distributors, but hang in there, do your best, and reach for those goals. I hope that the session has been useful to you, and it has been a pleasure for me to present it. So thank you very much. Pascal is standing by to take you through the next part of our session today.
Thank you, Betty.